Hello, I'm back, and I'm going to read to you the 32nd verse of Dr. Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. The 32nd verse. The eternal Tao has no name. Although simple and sublet, no one in the world can master it. If kings and lords could harness them, the 10,000 things would naturally obey. Heaven and earth would rejoice with the dripping of sweet dew. Everyone would live in harmony, not by official decree, but by their own goodness. Once the world is divided, the parts need names. There are already enough names. Know when to stop. Know when the season sets limits to avoid peril. Rivers and streams are born of oceans, and all creation is born of the Tao. Just as the water flows back to become the ocean, all creation flows back to become the Tao. Living the perfect goodness of the Tao. In this verse, Lao Tzu describes the ecstasy of being truly on the same page as your source. What you might describe as open-heartedness or joy in the simple and sublet flow of Tao energy that's responsible for all of life, and no effort on your part is necessary. Lao Tzu opens this verse with a reminder that no one, not you, me, or even the most powerful king or dictator, can reign in or master the force known as the Tao. If it were under our control, then all of nature and its 10,000 things would celebrate because we'd live in peace and harmony. When we're able to live and breathe the perfect goodness that is the Tao, war, famine, conflict, and other negative human creations cease to exist. The challenge presented in this 32nd verse of the Tao Te Ching is how to live in our physical world in unison with the eternal, always molding and always creating Tao. Look at what you desire to bring into your life. Then, in context of this sweet verse, feel grateful for everything that you encounter. Express gratitude by riding the flow of your existing and allowing it to be your ally. You steer clear while you still enjoy this glorious ride, but if you elect to fight it, you're ultimately just pulled under by its current. This is true for every aspect of your life. The more you push against it, the more resistance you create. Be aware of anything that's directing you towards activities that truly ignite your passion. If events seem to be taking you in a new direction in your work, for instance, or signs point to challenging your job or location, pay attention. Don't get pulled under by refusing to budge and continuing a familiar, frustrating routine, and then justify your fears of change. Recognize the Tao energy coursing through your life and quit fighting your calling. I watch my young son on a surfboard each day of the summer here in Maui. He loves the thrilling ride as he accelerates by going through the wave. He's not attempting to control it by prolonging it or forcing it to move in different directions. I use this as a metaphor for my life, for I write in the flow. I allow thoughts and ideas to come in and move into the page. I allow myself to be carried by the great wave of the Tao in all of my decisions, which brings me peace. That's because I trust in the perfect goodness of the Tao to guide me, direct me, and take me where it will. You and I are alike, the rivers and streams that Lao Tzu mentions in this verse. We were born of the Tao of sources of being, and we're returning to the Tao. The return trip is inevitable. It can't be stopped. So watch your body as it goes through its changes, noting that it does so in the same way that the rivers head down to the ocean to merge and become one with it. Lao Tzu urges you to know when to stop driving yourself, advising you to instead jump into the oneness and avoid all manners of difficulties that he calls your peril. Flow with the Tao in everything you do. Give up the need to be in charge, which is just your ego working overtime. You cannot force the Tao. Let it carry you by relaxing into it with trust and faith. As you ride the glorious wave of the Tao, consider this advice from Alan Watts in Tao, the Watercourse Way. Let your ears hear whatever they want to hear. Let your eyes see whatever they want to see. Let your mind think whatever it wants to think. Let your lungs breathe in their own rhythm. Do not expect any special results, for in this wordless, idealist state, where can there be a past or future, and where any notion of purpose? Stop, look, and listen right now before you go on reading. Yes, get in the perfect goodness of the Tao right now. In your business, in your relationships, in your career, in everything. Stop, listen for your passion, and then allow yourself to be taken there by a ceaseless tide of all creation, which continues in spite of your ego's opinion. Here's what Lao Tzu seems to be telling you through me about implementing the idea of the 32nd verse of the Tao Te Ching. Pay attention to the flow of your life. Remind yourself that you don't have to be in charge, that in fact it's impossible for you to be in charge. The nameless force, which Lao Tzu calls the Tao, moves everything, so your continual argument with it only causes dissatisfaction. Each day practice letting go and seeing where you're directed. Take notice of who shows up and when. Observe the strange coincidences that seem to collaborate with fate and in some way steer you in the new direction. Keep track of your situations that occur spontaneously or out of the realm of your control. Look for a new joyous feeling within you. As you move in the direction of loosening the leash, so to speak, you become keenly aware of the exhilaration of the Tao flowing through you. Begin to see your passion all stirred up inside of you as you allow to ride to be directed by your source rather than your ego. These joyous feelings are clues that you're beginning to harmonize with what Lao Tzu calls your own goodness. Your enthusiastic inner receptivity is your reminder that all is perfect, so trust that energy. Do the Tao now. Pick a time today, perhaps between noon and 4 p.m., to continuously free your mind from attempting to control the events of your life. Go for a walk or simply let yourself be carried along. Let your feet go where they will. Observe everything in your line of vision. Notice your breath, the sounds you hear, the wind, the cloud formation, the humidity, the temperature, everything. Simply let yourself be immersed and transported and notice how it feels to just go with the flow. Now decide to let your freedom be your guide. Realize that traffic, the people in your life, the stock exchange, the weather, the tide, all of it is taking place on its own pace in its own way. You can move with the eternal perfect Tao as well. Be it now. Always a reminder. Go out and get this book so that you can go through it. When you do, grab yourself a notebook and make sure that you write down every single verse. You've got 88 of them to go through. Write down each one of them each day as you go through it. Take 88 days to go through it. But definitely get the book. And I would like to give special thanks to my best friend, Rex Hargrove, for helping me produce this video. Have a good day.